Most of us love the look of a tan, but there's no denying that the sun's rays can lead to wrinkles and brown spots that just don't look good on anyone. So what can you do to reverse the damage? Well, here to fill us in, cosmetic surgery expert Dr. Gary Price. Welcome back, Dr. Price. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Sonia. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, first of all, is it possible to reverse the damage? I mean, you're not giving people free rein to go out there and get as much sun as they'd like to get, but there are things you say that can be done.
Absolutely. We can reverse a lot of the visible damage that the sun does, but we can't turn back the clock with the damage that's been done as far as the radiation damage to the sun, from the sun, and the increased risk of skin cancer that goes with that. So it's very important to realize this isn't a license just to get as much sun exposure as you want.
The best defense is to limit your time in the sun or
Absolutely.
to use sunscreen, but there's a spectrum of options, of treatments, starting with maybe the most minimal of results, creams and lotions. We've seen those on the market.
Yes, there are a number of ways to treat sun damage, ranging all the way from mild creams to chemical peels, dermabrasion, and then finally laser treatments. As you might imagine, with all of those treatments, as the treatments get more complicated, as recovery time goes up, you tend to get better results. So historically, we've only been able to give really good results with treatments that had lots of recovery time and lots of muss and fuss.
Okay, so you talked about the laser, and one option that you use is called the FX laser?
Yes, the FX is a new development with the carbon dioxide laser, which traditionally has been our nuclear weapon for wrinkles. And for a while now, we've been able to do a great job with brown spots and wrinkles, but the trouble was to get that good result, patients had to put up with 3 months or longer of terrible redness of their face.
And that's not the case with this?
The great thing about the FX laser is we can give a real result that you can see dramatically with one treatment with a very short downtime.
Yeah, I think we have some video actually to show you how does it work. How does this work?
Yes, the unique thing about the FX laser is that the laser energy is fractionated. It's broken into little spots which leaves normal skin in between. And you just saw the superficial treatment. The deep treatment is done with very fine, deep laser beams that penetrate to the deeper layer of the skin and cause the remodeling of the collagen that helps to reverse those deep lines and wrinkles.
And you actually have the laser head here with you, if we can take a look at that. Show us how that works.
Yes, this is the head of the laser. It's connected to a computer laser generating system, and the laser light beams pass through this connection and then out through the lens right here, so that the surgeon holds this about 6 to 8 inches from the patient's skin and can fire the laser beam and put it right where we want it to go.
And that size of the lens, is that the general size, or can you change it to really focus in on a particular spot?
The computer generator that's involved with this laser allows me to dial in almost any spot size and shape of the laser beam.
All right, so how does all of this translate to a patient? I believe we have some before and after photos, and the first one is some sunspots.
Yes, this is a man with some raised sunspots on his left cheek. And you can see what he looks like about 8 weeks later after basically a 10-minute treatment for those spots in his upper cheek. You can see he has very dramatic clearing and no scars at all.
And I think we have another before and after of age spots. Now, how does that differ from sunspots and age spots? Are they similar?
Well, they're names that we all use interchangeably. Scientifically, they're different. But what patients are concerned about is, of course, the way they look. This is a woman with more typical sun damage, the sort of flat brown spots that tend to occur all over the face, sometimes can come out with pregnancy or birth control pills. And you can see her cheek before and then about 8 weeks after a single laser treatment here.
This is one laser treatment that you're getting.
That's one treatment that we got that result.
And very little downtime, like you mentioned earlier.
I ask patients to allow for about 5 days. By day 5, it looks like a very mild sunburn.
What about pain during and after the treatment?
We give some local anesthesia and usually some medication to help a patient relax during the procedure, but afterwards there's no pain at all.
And you say this can also be used on wrinkles. We have some before and after of that.
Yes, it's very good for wrinkles.
It's a close-up of the cheek area.
This is a patient's right cheek, and she has problems primarily with wrinkles that have affected the texture of her skin. And you can see her here about 2 months after a single treatment with the FX laser.
How does this compare to something like microdermabrasion in terms of pricing and results? And microderm, you're talking about multiple treatments.
Right. Microdermabrasion is a mild treatment that primarily gets the very superficial layers of the skin. It's great in that there's no downtime, but to get a result that you can see, you often need 4 or 5 or even more treatments. And it can't really get the deep wrinkles or the deeper brown spots at all.
Like this one can.
Whereas the FX laser with just one treatment will give you a dramatic improvement in both the brown spots and the wrinkles.
And wrinkles, we have another example of that of the full face area. Tell us what you did here. There it is.
Yes, this patient is, you're seeing on the left there, before an FX laser treatment. She had both the deep and the superficial parts of that treatment. And then she's seen on the right there about 8 weeks after that treatment, just one treatment with the laser. And I think you can see a dramatic difference in both the texture and the color of her skin there.
And we're showing you just the face area, but we should also point out that this can also be used on the neck, on the chest, on the hands, because I think that can be a dead giveaway in terms of your age. A lot of people spend a lot of time, you know, using creams on their face or treatments like this on their face, and then you look at the chest or the neck area or even the hands, and you still see those sunspots or the age spots.
No, you're absolutely right. And one of the great things about this new laser is for the first time we can safely treat those spots on the neck, the exposed part of the chest, and the hands. So it's revolutionary in that respect.
And spots that aren't necessarily visible. I know I had it done where you put under a light, and all of a sudden all the sunspots show up, which is pretty scary.
Yeah. That's the terrible thing about the sun damage. You don't see it at first. Most of us get over half of our lifetime sun exposure before we're 18, but we don't start to see the effects until we're in our 30s and 40s.
Good information, Dr. Price. Thanks for coming in. Listen, if you want more information on reversing sun damage, you can contact Dr. Price through his website at drgaryprice.com, or just go see him on Durham Road in Guilford. The information, phone number, website right there. You can always come to our website, WTNH.com, and click on the Connecticut Style link. Dr. Price, thanks for coming in. Good to see you again. Appreciate it.